what you need to know. All right, so right now we're going to talk about credit system, and how it relates to sovereignty. Because, especially right now, we have all kinds of people going crazy about we don't have money to do this, we don't have money to do that, and we basically don't have money to do things that we need to do. There is a couple things we need to think about. That there is options for us to increase the amount of value that we can use to contribute to whatever it is that we're trying to build. So when you think about a credit system, what's that? So a credit system is basically a monetary system, but it's not a monopoly monetary system. It's a sovereign national monetary system, right? So, and because it's a national sovereign monetary system, that it does the exact opposite things that a normal monetary system would do, because it's not just worried about making a profit. I mean, I don't know, I guess a profit, like a non-mattering type of profit. It's more concerned with the development of the society or the state or whatever whatever's under its umbrella, right? So it's always going to be a little bit more sound, even though because its objectives are always going to lead to developments that are useful, right? So when you say that you have a credit system, that means that any country can just look at itself, look at the resources it has, look at the manpower that it has, look at the mind power that it has, and make a plan of whatever they want their society to be in, to become. And based on the abilities they have and the plans and the resources, you can start planning it out. So you can, because you're making certain agreements that'll be consistent, right? Because you're dictating them, then it's easy for you to plan ahead, and then you can say, like, you know, basically you're staggering how your loans come in, right? So you're making loans out, and then but those loans are made to be on things that are productive. So so you make estimates as to when these things that you're investing in are going to show fruit. So based on the future fruit, right? That's what you're building your society on. Now, that's not something that's unrealistic, because it's not like you're just on a whim just saying, oh, this is going to be like this is going to be like this. It's, you do it soundly, you think about it, right? But you're making sure that all your investments are in things that are like generators of productivity, right? So you're going to spend on things, but then after all this spending that you did, years later, the whole surroundings that you have is more capable of making value. You know, so that's like the opposite. That's what's happening in a lot of those European countries, because what they're doing is they don't get to dictate things like that. So they have a monetary policy, right? So somebody else is saying that they have to borrow money from them, right? They can't just say, well, we have this many resources, we have this much stuff, we can make this promise on our own name. They have to borrow from someone else. So, but the conditions of their borrowing is always saying that they can't do the types of things that build themselves up, right? So it's like anybody thinking that you can work doing that, where everything that you're going to do financially depends on someone else that isn't really related to you, and their objectives are different than yours, because their objective is for you to pay. Your objective should be to become a better society. So how can you govern yourselves with that conflict, right? So that's why I'm saying that it's important that people know what a credit system is. Yeah. Shit you need to know. Big foe. Credit system. Peace.